Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a GameReplays.org Heroes of New Earth cast. Today we jump straight into an in-house that started right away, so I have no idea what's going on, but thankfully I have someone here who does. Ja, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it looks like we got a this is like a high-level in-house going on. I mean, most of the players in here are at least 1900. I think the lowest is probably Lucky, who is like 1850, but everyone else is mostly like 2000. Well, now it's a fairly high-level game, and the mode is actually AR, no swap, no anything. It's basically whatever hero you get in the random, you're stuck with, and yeah, and these are all. And it's just kind of an interesting way to set it up lanes, because you know you don't really get heroes that you see that often.
So this is all random duplicate heroes. I do notice we have two Sandwraiths right off the bat.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting, because usually actually it's kind of strange. It's whatever team gets Sandwraith usually just wins, because a lot of time you don't really have the heroes to gank the Sandwraith with. You know, I mean, sometimes like you can see the Legion team actually has 3 melee, so I mean, I don't even know how they're gonna do their lanes. Sending Repulsor top, Gauntlet mid, and actually it seems like they're able to sort this out pretty well. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this turns out.
Alright, so like basically we have a whole bunch of SK, we got evil geniuses in here, don't deal with it, just deal with it. And who else? MS. What clan is MS?
MS is kind of just like a friendly clan that a bunch of people like just decided to tag up for. Actually, sorry to interrupt you, but looks like we got Cardinal. He's all the way at the top in front of the Hellborn base, actually just completely skipping the creep.
Yeah.
And it looks like the Hellborn team is not even reacting to it at all. I mean, actually, looks like the Chipper is actually on his way to go take care of the Legionnaire. And see, like, these are the kind of interesting strategies and whatnot that you always get in these AR games that you wouldn't normally get in the normal game.
the lone rocket coming out of Chipper, and Cardinal's just not even bothering to move. Just like, yeah, whatever.
No, it's funny too. I mean, like, what can this Chipper really do? I mean, he can probably like harass and whatnot, but I mean, it's a really difficult situation. I mean, considering he doesn't really have a stun or anything. I mean, eventually, maybe someone from the many from mid might come help him out, but I don't know. It looks like I guess the Hellborn time's in a little bit of trouble here. I mean, that tower. Well, actually, look, the tower's still at full life. That's kind of peculiar, actually. I guess Wath is just absorbing all that damage.
Well, you play ring around the tower. It's a pretty common thing to do, yeah. But yeah, keeping these creeps back here, I don't know. Good thing, bad thing. It's kind of giving him free farm at the same time as screwing over Chipper.
Yeah, he has 10 CS, which is actually just as much as the Filer has. The Filer has 11. He's actually sitting 1 creep above him. I mean, this is pretty interesting to see how this strategy works out. I mean, looking at the bottom lane, you got the Polywog, and looks like some action going on at bottom. Looks like the Sandwraith, one of the Sandwraiths, Fog Sandwraith, might be in a little bit of trouble there, but looks like he's able to successfully get away. I don't know, who do you think has the more powerful setup here? Polywog Sandwraith or Pyromancer Sandwraith?
I'm gonna have to give it to the Pyromancer simply because of the extra stun that does not require the channel. But what is Legionnaire doing? He's gonna find that level 4
Oh my god, Legionnaire! The Defiler looks like he's in so much trouble. Looks like, oh! And the Defiler is actually gonna get away by popping the bottle charge at the last moment, surviving with 19 HP. So well played by him. I thought that the Defiler would almost certainly go down there, but looks like Carno goes down instead. So I guess the strategy not working out as well as they might hope. I mean, that top tower is still sitting at full HP. That Pestilence doing that ring around the rosy thing, and so hey, I mean, I guess this is kind of working out in the Hellborn's favor. So.
Well, 1-0 and yeah, that free farm, I mean, destroying that Legionnaire was definitely going to restore the creep flow to them. I don't know, do you think he'd do it again? I think, you know, lightning shouldn't strike twice in the same spot.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it's kind of puts you in a weird situation. Like, once you die, you know, you kind of give them boots and like a bunch of, like, just even like a slight little bit of items. if that happens, you know, they're able to kite Axe more, Legionnaire more successfully, and you know, it really puts you in a more difficult position than you would have been in before. But it looks like he's going behind the creeps again. You know, I mean, just absolutely charging it. And keep in mind, this game is for PSR, and American play. Well, actually, most of these players. Well, I would say at least half these players take these games fairly seriously, and so you know, they are trying their best despite the fairly eccentric hero lineup.
Eccentric is definitely the word. I mean, all random duplicate heroes can definitely throw us some weird results, as we said, the two Sandwraiths. But the combos, I don't know, so far they're kind of not gelling. I mean, usually with the players at this high level, they can overcome hero discrepancies between teams. But I don't know, so far I haven't quite seen any of that slick teamwork you'd normally expect.
Yeah, well, this isn't the highest level in-house that we normally have. Actually, I mean, normally we have more EG players and more DWI players. Like the few, like Lucky, you know, he's kind of the player that you sit in. And no offense, Lucky, if you're listening to the cast, but I mean, he realizes this, that you know, he's a player you sit in like when you don't have absolutely anyone else. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a very high level game. You know, I mean. Obviously, Lucky is still, you know, almost 1900. So.
Well, you say that, but he took out that Pyromancer pretty handily there.
Yeah, you know, he's not a bad player, not at all. But that's kind of why you don't see the amazing teamwork that you would expect from, you know, I guess all these high raid players, because you know, when you play with a lot of the same people a lot, you know, you kind of get the hang of what they're gonna do, and you know, Lucky's just not one of the people that they normally play with, is all I'm trying to say.
Yep, fair enough. Alright, so looks like Pestilence has his level 6, and they have found that Legionnaire. They're going to chase him right out of that jungle.
Oh, and looks like the Repulsor's in a little bit of trouble here, getting caught in the stun. It looks like he's going down. Cardinal taking a lot of damage. Are they going to choose to pursue? And looks like they are going to choose pursue. And looks like, ooh, almost certainly going down. And Cardinal goes down to the Defiler Pestilence combination. Oh, Defiler Pestilence Sandwraith combination, excuse me. And looks like that's definitely going to put the Hellborn team in a great position. I mean, currently they have a 1,400 gold advantage, and I mean that's absolutely huge for this point in the game. I mean, it's only 7 minutes into the game, and so I mean things definitely looking up for the Hellborn side. The Defiler's actually sitting at about 350 gold per minute, which is quite a bit. Definitely that first blood is definitely contributing to that. But, you know, I mean, these games turn around back and forth, so, you know, definitely not counting Legion team out just yet.
Yeah, you should never count anyone down and out, so to speak. Legionnaire has come back up top. I guess he wants to try to make something with Fogged here on that Sandwraith, but Polywog is kind of stopping it in its tracks. Now, he is level 5 despite all that. I mean, we did have Pestilence level 6, which probably attributed to his death simply because of the vision, the negative armor, and of course you saw the Defiler out there with... I do believe she had her ult on, didn't she? Or yeah, she's level 6. So, yeah.
I believe she did have her ult. Actually, well, I don't think so, actually. I remember him just kind of like auto-attacking with, he had a whole bunch of illusion runes, but now he's actually ulting, and now he takes out Cardinal, again. So Cardinal sitting at 0 and 3, not doing all that well. So I guess that strat that he was trying to pull off is really not working as well as he anticipated it, or... You know, maybe he didn't execute it right. You know, I guess maybe a little bit of combination of both.
A little bit of A, a little bit of
regardless,
B. Yeah.
You know, it's just an early game, and I mean, anything can happen. Oh, ooh, Sandwraith at the bottom lane, a little bit of trouble. Actually, just kidding. Pestilence choosing not to go for the stun on Sandwraith for some reason. They almost certainly could have gotten a kill there. But regardless. Looks like the Sandwraith at the bottom lane will be fine. Well, looks like actually, sorry, I completely missed it. Looking at the top lane, looking at Defiler. Looks like Defiler is running away. And, ooh, he was actually looked like he was going to outrun that gauntlet there, but he does go down to the Sandwraith, who uses his Desert Curse to get the last hit on that Defiler, and so that's definitely a needed thing for the Legion team, because that Defiler was farming really exceptionally well. That's crushing his farm back down to 300 gold per minute from 350, and so You know, keep in mind it's only 9 minutes into the game, so.
You say that as if, like, you know, 300 gold is just nothing to you guys, but I mean, 300 gold 9 minutes into the game, that's showing some exceptional farm. So crushing it, probably a great idea at this time, at least for the Legion, because they're gonna need something here. I mean, that was their first kill, as you said, over 9 minutes into the game. We are sitting 5-1. Nothing is over until it's over, but we are gonna need to start seeing some counter ganks going on here soon to keep the Legion into the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to see more TPs and stuff and whatnot. But actually, it looks like the Chipper is coming up behind this Legionnaire. It looks like the Legionnaire is in a lot of trouble. Ooh, almost certainly gonna go down here. And and Fogged putting the smackdown on the Cardinal, and Cardinal will in fact get smacked down.
0-4-0.
Jangbang, our local troll.
Do you think they're just picking on him?
Pointing out, feeding him. No, I mean, he's putting himself in a lot of these situations. You know, I mean, he's going behind the tower, and whatnot. These guys aren't, you know, stupid. They're, of course, going to respond to it and whatnot. I mean, he walked all the way up. He was right in front of the tower. I mean, maybe a little bit of both, I guess, you know. But I would say a large portion of it is kind of his fault.
Well, I think that the Hellborn
you know,
have a big kind of advantage here. They got the Filer Polywog for pushing, and each side has their own Sandwraith. At the same time, Chipper there for the ganks does not look like that Polywog is going to get out of that unscathed as he goes down. It looks like Sandwraith in a lot of trouble as well. The Fogged Sandwraith, I suppose, if we should say. But he will be using his ult, getting out of that. 2 down at the top.
But he might still be going down to the other Sandwraith. Oh my gosh, he's almost certainly going to go down to the other Sandwraith. And it looks like he goes down to the other Sandwraith, you know. I mean, it's not really something you see that often, but yeah, I don't think that was the best idea there. Like, you just kind of fed Sandwraith a kill, and it looks like the other Sandwraith, Aamexzaku Sandwraith, goes down to Pestilence, trying to die to Conger there, but not successfully, unfortunately.
He tried.
He tried, you know. You gotta give him that. You know, actually, this is the first time I've seen the game since the new patch, and I'm looking at the Hellborn base, and their base is just much more wide open than I remembered. I mean, wow, that's actually going to be a huge change. It looks like looking at the top tower here, looks like some action's about to go on. I mean, Legionnaire and their Repulsor trying to put some damage onto that tower, but a response from the Hellborn team successfully stomps them in their tracks. So, you know, good response from the Hellborn team. You know, you definitely want to keep those towers up, especially in these ARDU games. You know, I mean, it's such a large amount of gold. You can just instantly turn the tides of the game.
Fair enough. So here we are sitting at an 8-4 score, just over the 12-minute mark. The experience lead and the gold lead, very negligible at this point. Any kind of team fight at this point will definitely swing the pendulum back into anyone's favor. We got a lot of farming going down, a lot of creep stacking and killing, and even Legionnaire up at top in the forest. There's no wards up here, so they had to have been tipped off
and
somehow.
He looks like he's in trouble. Oh, they actually saw him walk through the river portion where they do have a ward, and they saw him go into the jungle, and they pinged as soon as they saw that happening, and they were just walking all the way from the top lane, and then they saw that small creep camp dead, and so I figured, you know, they figured he probably went to that larger creep camp. And so Cardinal going down again, sitting at 0-5, actually moving his gold per minute down to 179, which is definitely not good, especially for such a, I don't want to call him a weak character, but he's one of those characters that just, if you don't have a Blink Dagger with him, you're kind of pretty useless. I mean, but, you know, like, we'll see how this game turns out. You know, once again, we're 13 minutes in, and, you know, anything can happen.
Yeah, but 13 minutes in, and his farm has been severely limited. I mean, that's really going to put him back in the term of items. And he is a tanky character that needs those items. Even Polywog chasing him off here is still going to, you know, I think they have it out for him at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, actually, Polywog putting a lane ward at the top lanes to see exactly when Cardinal is going out. Personally, I think he should just go into his own jungle and you know, try to get some farm there. I mean, this is obviously not working out for him. It looks like, I guess Booth bringing the counter ward. So that's definitely gonna, I guess, gonna help him out. I mean, you definitely want to try to